Councilwoman
galing,
Turchusi.
alam mo, Tony, ako, artista ako eh. I know who's acting or not eh.
Mr. Chair, if I may, I was informed that the official translator of the House has arrived, Miss Caroline. So she's a Filipino-Chinese. I guess the conversation, the interpretation would be much better.
So, she's the new interpreter.
I was informed by the Secretariat, Mr. Chair, that she is the officially designated translator of the Quadcom for this purpose.
Okay. I was hoping that she could help us translate it, what the translator is saying. Okay. Thank you for coming here.
Chairman, Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Congressman
I think
Fernandez.
Tony Yang understand what we are talking about. You laugh.
The Bureau of Immigration agents read him his rights, Your Honor.
So, nagkakausap sila? Narinig niya nag-uusap sila?
Yes, sir, I was there.
So, nakakapagsalita siya ng Tagalog? Naiintindihan niya Tagalog?
Tumatango po siya, yes, yes.
So, we don't need to interpret anymore kung naiintindihan ni Tony yan. Ikaw, intindi aming salita? Oo. Naiintindihan mo kasi sumasagot ka eh. Di ba yung kanina when we were talking, I noticed lang Tony Yang. Tony Yang, makinig ka. Makinig ka. Kasi kanina lang, may joke si si chairman eh, and you laugh.
Councilwoman
Ang galing,
Turchusi.
alam mo, Tony, ako, artista ako eh. I know who's acting or not eh. Ha? Tony, makinig ka sa akin. Naiintindihan kita. Naiintindihan mo ko, di ba? Konti. Okay. So, yung mga salita namin, naiintindihan mo, tumatawa ka, smile ka, sumisimangot ka. Di ba? Kita namin eh. Di ba? And we will be reminding you. Remind namin ikaw. Pag ikaw hindi sabi totoo dito, ikaw contempt, kulong dito. Ha? Yan. Tingnan mo. Naiintindihan niya eh. Kasi Tony, 21 years ka, 2001 ka pa dito. 24 years ka nang nakatira dito. Imposibleng hindi mo naiintindihan ang mga sinasabi namin.
Does Mr. Yang have an interpreter? You're the interpreter? Okay. Mr. Yang, you need an interpreter? Yeah. So, siya yung interpreter mo? Siya. Okay, thank you. Now, we'll proceed with the interpolation. The first to interpolate is, let me just get my list. The first in the list is Congressman Rog Gutierrez. You have 5 minutes, Congressman Gutierrez. You're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, as much as we would like to interpolate to Mr. Yang, I'd like to clear a few things po, especially in light of the Matrix with some of our resource persons from last time. Because I think of note talaga po sa ating Matrix is that it seems to be a parallel operation. Nakita po natin na yung first parts of our Quadcom were only scratching the surface. Itong mga Pogo operations pala happening in parallel is only the initial and it's the lower level actually. And now we're moving up. But before we move on with Mr. Yang, I just have a few questions. Kasi nga po, nakita natin, parallel po based on the Matrix. For example, I'm sure there are many more Pogo operations, pero parallel po yung sa Porac and yung sa Bamban. So that, Mr. Chair, I'd like to direct my first question to Ms. Ong and to Ms. Guo. Ms. Ong, you had said before that kilala niyo po si Ms. Guo. Tama po ba?
Yes po, Mr. Chair.
And in what capacity po yan, Ms. Ong?
Nakilala ko lang po siya dahil kay Wesley Go po.
Si Wesley Guo is supposedly your boyfriend po. Tama po, Mr. Chair.
Yes po, Mr. Chair.
And you've met Wesley Guo how po?
Somewhere in Binondo po.
In Binondo po. Pero si Wesley Guo, the brother of Alice Guo, Mr. Chair, may I direct my question to Ms. Alice Guo? You mentioned po you lived in Tarlac for most of your life po. Tama po ba?
Yes po, Mr. Chair.
So, from age 0 to, you claim to be 38 po, no, Ms. Guo? From 0 to 38, talagang residence po ninyo is Tarlac.
Yes po.
Have you at any point in time found yourself in Binondo?
Binondo, never naman po ako tumira sa Binondo.
Never tumira. But you visited Binondo po ba?
Yes po.
For what purpose po kaya yan?
Minsan mamasyal, minsan may bibilhin. Opo.
Okay, so from there, would you have an idea of the circumstances surrounding the meeting of Miss Ong and your brother, si Wesley?
Sorry po, one more time po.
May idea po kayo kung paano nakilala si Wesley, si Miss Ong?
Wala po, Mr. Chair.
So sariling lakad niya po yun, yung sa Binondo, and then they met.
Yes po.
Okay. I direct my questions again to Miss Ong. So you say you're in a relationship with Wesley. Ano po yung birthday ni Wesley Guo?
February 23.
Feb 23?
Yes po.
That would peg him, what year po?
1990... wait, bilangin ko lang po.
Mr. Chair, do we have anyone who can confirm the date? Because my data says otherwise.
I think,
Perhaps, Mr. Chair, I can ask the Bureau of Immigration.
Yeah.
They might have the documents po, no? Mr. Chair, directing my question to the Bureau of Immigration, anong birthday po ni Mr. Wesley Guo based on his Philippine passport?
Mr. Chair, good evening. Unfortunately, we don't have it, but I undertake to give it before the end of the session, sir.
Okay, please can we confirm? Because as far as I understand, I've seen the picture of the passport and it said February 1. And it would be very curious po na Miss Ong wouldn't know the birthday of her boyfriend for 4 years na po. Tama po. But we'll confirm it later po naman, no? We don't have the data. Would you know po kung anong schools pinuntahan ni Wesley Guo? Boyfriend mo po of 4 years, hindi mo po alam kung anong schools pinuntahan niya?
Hindi po, Mr. Chair.
Isn't that curious? Di ka man lang na-curious kung saan po siya pumunta for schooling?
Hindi po.
So ano yung mga... What aspects of his life do you know about? Alam mo po ba kung ano yung hobbies niya?
Maglaro po.
Maglaro
Yung hobby ng gumdam.
ng gam-gam. Ng
Parang robot.
robot.
Yun lang po.
And the nature of his work, are you familiar po?
No po.
Hindi rin. So as supposedly a couple from 2020 or 2021, hindi mo po alam yung school niya, hindi mo po alam yung interest niya, and I'm pretty sure hindi mo alam yung birthday niya. So that's what I'm trying to point out here, Mr. Chair. I do not believe in the story that Miss Guo and Miss Ong know each other through the brother. In fact, I believe the matrix more in which what binds them is their work relation through Mr. Duan Renwu and Mr. Xiang Jie. And in fact, I would, if there's anything that I would change to the matrix, I would say that dapat si Duan Renwu and si Xiang Jie should be in the middle between the two because he is the link that binds. Because, Mr. Chair, I'd like to ask again, between the two, between Baofu, which I think, Miss Guo, ano po yung relation po natin sa Baofu?
Your Honor, after po ako nag-divest, wala na po kami relationship.
Oh, but prior po, you were an incorporator.
Prior po, Baofu, landowner.
Okay, landowner po talaga. So, Baofu, may link po tayo kay Miss Guo. Kay Miss Ong naman, admittedly, incorporator ng LS99 through Mr. Duan Renwu. So, we see, ito na po yung sinasabi ng Matrix na parallel operation. We have here two owners of yung supposedly, yung land-owning corporation, which will eventually lend to the Pogo, of which they are still actually a part of. Yung si Mr. Duan Renwu, if I remember, is ninong po ni Miss Ong. Is that correct, Miss Ong?
Yes po, Mr. Chair.
And admittedly, si Mr. Duan Renwu, kilala rin po ni Miss Guo. Is that correct, Miss Guo?
Your Honor, nakilala ko po siya through Cassie Lee.
Through Cassie, allegedly. You met Cassie through the boyfriend na hindi niya nga mabanggit kung anong school or anong birthday. But admittedly, you know si Mr. Duan Renwu, who you were seen together abroad when you escaped the Philippines. Is that correct, Mr. Chair?
Mr. Chair, na-met ko po siya nung sinama po ni Cassie sa amin.
Oh, pero kasama po ninyo abroad. Indonesia po ba yan or Malaysia?
Hindi po kasama. Na-met ko lang po siya dahil sinama po ni
Doon,
Cassie.
dahil doon. And Mr. Duan Renwu and Mr. Jiang Chen naman, paano mo po kilala, Miss Guo? Siya po yung nag-arrange ng hotel nyo, di ba?
Your Honor, hindi ko po kilala si Jiang Jie.
Hindi nyo po kilala. Pero in-arrange lang po yung hotel nyo.
Hindi po siya nag-arrange ng hotel namin. Hindi ko po siya kilala.
Hindi niyo po kilala. Okay, we'll come back to that. So si Mr. Duan Renru and si Xiang Che, na president of LS99, dito po natin nakikita in parallel po yung nangyayari sa kanila. And why I find it hard to believe, for example, yun, yung kwento ni Miss Ong na kilala niya si Miss Guo through the boyfriend, di niya man lang masubstantiate. And kay Miss Guo naman, although this might be hearsay for the committee, pero ako po personally, I hope you'd understand, di po ako naniniwala sa story na kayo po ay sa Tarlac from 0 to 38. Actually, Mr. Chair, can we ask the committee if naka-ready po yung photo? It was already shown before, pero yung class photo po ni Miss Guo.
Secretariat.
Miss Guo, while waiting for that po, you say you were born in 1986. Tama po ba?
Yes po, Your Honor.
That puts you at, how old are you now po?
38.
38. And at the time, naalala niyo po yung picture po, no, na na-present last time. But you claim na di niyo po yun...
Ano pong picture,
invoked
Your
your
Honor?
right. Yung picture, class picture niyo po.
I invoke my right.
You
Opo.
invoked your right. Pwede mo naman sabihin na hindi ikaw yun, di ba?
Your Honor, I hope you understand, sa sobrang dami na pong kaso na nasampahan po ngayon sa court, kaya anything po na isasagot ko po dito sa inyo might use against me po.
Opo. Well, I think that's why I have a tendency not to believe you po. Kasi kung talagang hindi ikaw yan, I think you would have said that's not you. But instead, you invoked your right to self-incrimination. And why do I not believe that? I can identify two of the people behind you. Magkabatch po tayo, Miss Guo. I know what year this was taken. And they have a description of you. Nung pumasok ka po sa Grace, napaka-thick po ng accent ninyo, Mandarin lang ang kaya niyong salita. But you were very friendly and you were very makulit. And that's why they had a hard time to forget you, even though hanggang grade 3 ka lang daw po doon. Now I know, like I said, that's hearsay as far as the committee is concerned kasi hindi naman nandito yung may personal knowledge doon. But when I was talking to that person with personal knowledge, na-convinced naman po ako and they've identified you. In fact, if you were 38 and this picture was 2001, you would have been 13, 14 po ba? Eh, kasing age mo naman yung mga 19, these people were born 91, 92. Kasize mo naman po, I don't think you're that much older than them. And that's why I really don't buy that story that you were born in 1986. And I don't buy the story that this is not you. In fact, they called you Ping. Ping po yung nickname niyo dito. But anyway, that's just to prove the point po, no? But what does that say about the testimony here before us? Thank you, Comsec, for the picture. We have a Latin maxim po, no? Falsis in uno, falsus in omnibus. When you're false in one thing, it's false in everything. So this puts into light every statement that you have made. Of course, aside from the statements made regarding the right against self-incrimination. But if we're talking po about everything she said, that she was in Tarlac for 30 years, that all of her life, or the fact po that she was not the person in the Bamban resolution, this is going to be your testimony versus documentary evidence. Yung Bamban resolution number 185 series of 2020, citing you as the applicant for Hongsheng Gaming, ano po yung sagot mo doon? You said you have no recollection at all kung paano na nasama yung pangalan po ninyo. Tama po ba yan, Mr. Chair?
Mr. Chair, all related Hongsheng, Baofu, I invoke my right against self-incrimination po.
Okay. And just proves it even more. If you can't relate to us how you're related to the resto, then I guess the document stands po na may kinalaman po kayo sa Hongsheng. Another thing po, you claim na walang Filipinos involved sa escape. How do we know that we can take that for granted? Kasi, yun nga, as far as we're concerned, false in one, false in all. And then, of course, the allegations that 3.2 billion was transferred to Hongsheng through the partners mentioned earlier. And it's parallel also because I remember, if I'm not mistaken, Chair Dan Fernandez mentioned there was also a similar transfer going on between Mr. Duan Renwu and Ms. Cassandra Ong. So we see nga po na talagang I think may basis yung matrix, talagang parallel yung operations. And I think that's as much as we can get from them. Baofu and Hongsheng versus Lucky South 99 and Whirlwind are two sides of the same coin. They're parallel operations held by a consistent cast of characters, and now that the Quadcom is digging deeper, we're now moving up the ladder. Unfortunately, I don't think we'll be able to get anything more from Ms. Ong and Ms. Guo, given that they have cases and they have repeatedly cited their right. They've repeatedly invoked the right against self-incrimination. So I think we have no choice but to move on with the matrix. So with that, Mr. Chair, I'd be asking my questions to Mr. Yang.
Yeah, but before that, Your Honor, let me ask the lawyer of Miss Alice Go. Your participation here is to advise your client only of her legal rights. And please, advise her also what questions she needs to answer. If the question being asked, being propounded by a member is not related to the case that she is facing, then you have to compel her to answer. And that goes the same with other counsels present. Okay, para lang ho maliwanag, that's our ground rules. Alam naman po ninyo, kayo mga lawyers, alam nyo naman po kung ano yung makakaapekto sa kaso nila. Kaya wag nyo silang pabayaang magtago sa likod ng right against self-incrimination. And we just want to make that clear. Please continue, Congressman Gutierrez.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, before I move on, I'd like to go back. I still have 2 more photos with the COMSEC on the issues of Ms. Ong and Ms. Guo. Committee Secretariat, may we ask for the pictures of Lucky South 99 and yung Hong Sheng to be displayed? May I ask, Mr. Chair, the PAOCC, si Dr. Casio, Mr. Chair, generally ang Pogo, kailangan po ba compound talaga? If I understand correctly, meron po tayong mga Pogo operations within Metro Manila. Is that correct?
Mr. Chair, Honorable Gutierrez, in the past, PAGCOR allowed what was dubbed as hubs. By hubs, meaning to say different locators, different Pogo operators can exist within one hub. But if I do recall, the only hubs that were ever licensed by PAGCOR were the one in Clark, Sun Valley, which was raided by the ACG and PAOK on May of last year. The second one was, if I am not mistaken, the one in Bamban, no? Baohu. And the last one is the last remaining hub that's winding down, yung sa, ano po, yung dito po sa Island Cove, Cavite.
So generally, Mr. Chair, ang Pogo, it doesn't necessarily have to be a hub. They can operate parang BPO lang po siya. Sometimes they rent a floor lang po. Tama po ba
Yes,
yun?
sir. They can rent as small a space as 300 square meters.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, for clarifying. So para lang alam ng ating mga kababayan, kasi nabanggit po ng PAGCOR, meron pong 240 plus na nabanggit ng mga Pogo. Baka iniisip po nila lahat yun Pogo hub. But it seems to be only the big operators are the Pogo hubs. It's, for example, yung sa Baofu and sa Lucky South 99. Kaya nga po parang parallel because amongst all the Pogos, sila lang po yung ganito. Sila lang po yung may hub. And it seems to indicate na they have the same modus operandi and they have the same intention to include mga love scam, mga cryptocurrency scamming, and other related crimes. Kasi hindi naman po yan manggagawa sa 300 square meter na office building po, no? So I think this is just another point of parallelism between the two. And then one more thing, Mr. Chair, Committee Secretariat, yung next picture po, please. Yung mansion. Ms. Ong, Mr. Chair, is this image familiar to you po?
Yes po, Mr. Chair.
Can you explain to us ano po yung nakikita natin sa picture? Nakita mo naman po, is that your house?
Yes po, Mr. Chair.
Ito yung mansion po ninyo sa Porac?
Opo.
Mr. Chair, can we, for everyone to see, can we have the picture again? Ms. Ong, gaano kalaki po yung inyong property dito? Tama po ba? That's like a little massage house in the middle of the lake behind the bigger mansion proper. Tama po ba, Ms. Ong?
Lahat po yan, bahay po. Wala pong massage.
Wala massage. Yung gitna. So
Yes
lahat
po.
yan bahay. So yung gitna.
Opo.
So gaano kalaki po itong property nyo?
Yung lot po is around 3 hectares po.
3 hectares yung lot. And
Yes
all
po.
of this at the tender age of 24. Would you care to substantiate how you made your money out of this? Lahat po yan na-inherit po ba, Mr. Chair?
Mr. Chair, I invoke my right.
You
po.
invoke your
Pasensya
right.
na po
Of
kasi
course.
meron pong kinasa sa akin.
Kasi nga po, kahit yung reasoning na binigay mo last time na 35 million per month, hindi rin yun tama eh. Kasi at 35 billion per month na you would make out of the 70,000 hectares that you were renting out, that's only still just 35 million, which wouldn't account for the billions of worth. Sabi niyo po, wala po kayong inutang to make yung phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, not including itong mansion po ninyo. Because the truth of the matter is, based on the reports, if we're to believe, this is actually bahay ni Mr. Duan Renwu. Hindi naman po ito sa'yo. You're going to invoke your right or you're going to deny it, that's fine, Ms. Ong. But I'm just presenting it for the facts that the unbelievable story of rags to riches at 24 through inheritance from your mom, based on nothing more than the right connections at the right time, parang sobrang unbelievable po. We are more inclined to believe these parallel operations in which at the center is Duan Renwu and everyone else going up. So with that, Mr. Chair, I'll conclude na po yung kay Ms. Ong and kay Ms. Guo. I'd like to go on po as we go up with the ladder kay Mr. Yang. Thank you, Committee Secretary, for the picture. Yes.
Mr. Chair, I just have a question, just out of curiosity, if I may.
With the indulgence of Congressman
with the indulgence of Congressman Gutierrez. Comsec, pwede mo ba maibalik ulit yung bahay ni Ms. Cassie Ong? Ms. Cassie, pwede niyo po bang sabihin niyo kung tama po yung pagkaunawa ko dito sa litrato? So meron pong lake at yung bahay po ninyo ay yung nasa gitna. Tama po ba yun? Can you go back? Hindi, yung bahay po, yung bahay, Comsec. Yung bahay, Comsec.
Prior picture, please.
Yan. Yeah. Excuse me. Yes?
Yes po. Yes po, Mr. Chair.
So yung bahay po, ano po yung nasa gitna ng lake?
Bahay po.
Tapos ito pong nandito sa may bandang baba.
Bahay din po, Mr. Chair.
Oh, so you have a house within a house? At tapos yung nandun po sa ibabaw niya na parang kulay puti na I don't know how you describe it. Parang ano ba yan? Is that also a body of water?
Garden po yan, Mr. Chair.
Garden. Okay. Yeah, itong lake po ito is man-made or natural?
Can I consult my lawyer po?
No, I mean, it's actually whether it's
Man Lake po, Mr. Chair.
huh?
Man Lake po.
Man-made. Man-made. Gaano kalalim po yung lake?
Hindi ko po sure, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much. I'm just trying to figure out kasi yung figures na binanggit ni Kong Rods. At I'm medyo kinakwenta ko po kung magkano aabutin to kasi kung man-made po yan, Chairman, at saka kung gaano kalalim at yung lawak, tapos nice to live there. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair.
Okay, please proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and I agree with the good Deputy Speaker. Kaya nga po yung punto na natin doon, yung 35 million nga, kulang na po yun for phase 1, 2, and 3 of Whirlwind. Paano pa kaya yung 3-hectare lot with mansion na pinakita po natin? But anyway, the bright side to this, with the efforts of the Quadcom, I believe the proper cases have been filed against the parties. So we can leave po yung parallel operations on the ground. Doon na lang po yun. We leave it to our good partners in service executive branch. But yeah, moving on, Mr. Chair, I'd like to ask now si Mr. Tony Yang. So, Mr. Yang, magandang gabi po. Mr. Yang, kayo po ay nakakapagsalita ng Tagalog, English?
Punti, marunong.
Konti marunong. Pero conversational. Halimbawa, pag may mga events po kayo, you can have a conversation, pwede po kayong makipag-usap sa mga tao. Pag may dinner, mga ganun. Di po talaga.
I think it's better you using English. Yeah, it's better.
Better using
Yeah,
English.
yeah,
Okay.
better.
Mr. Yang, good evening. So you can speak better in English. Are you able to have a casual conversation in English?
No, actually, I am the interpreters.
You're the
Yang.
interpreter
Yeah,
right
yeah,
now.
yeah.
But
Maybe
my
it's
question stands. Is he able to have a casual conversation in English, Mr. Chair?
就是你说的东西就是可以回答用英文回答。
No casual conversation. Mr. Chair, can we, through the Secretariat, can we have my next 3 photos, please?
Mr. Chair, Mr. Chair, Mr. Chair. Point of inquiry lang, Mr. Chair. Would it be possible to ask the translator to speak into the mic when he tries to translate to Mr. Yang so that we can also hear?
Thank you.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Please proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The first photo, please. Yung una. Is that the first? Okay. Mr. Yang, through the Honorable Chairman, is that you in the picture?
就是他问你在图片里面那个是不是你？是不是他的？Yeah, is he?
It is. Do you recall Do you recall what event was transpiring here?
就是他问你在这里是举行了什么活动，还是就干嘛的？
当时那个三家钢铁厂给 BBD 里面签那个租那个地，租地的。
OK。Okay. I think it's during some rentals for the place. Yep.
I'm sorry again, Mr. Chair.
开发区吧，经济开发区 BBD。
Is for rentals for the DPTs, the ones using DPTs.
就是开发区吧，开发区，经济开发区。
经济开发区。
对，经济开发区。
Mr. Chairman, point of clarification lang, Mr. Chairman.
With the indulgence of Congressman Gutierrez.
Yeah, with the indulgence of Congressman Raj. I believe the translator is the son of Michael Yang. Are you the son of Michael? Oh, of Tony Yang?
No.
You're not
Actually,
the son?
no. I come from Pao.
What is your... you're from Pao.
Yeah.
So you're the translator of the Pao, not of Tony Yang.
Yeah, it's
Sige,
not
you can
Tony.
proceed. Thank you so much.
Please proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Chair Dan. Can we proceed? So can we have a clarification? What was the event?
Okay. Which one? This one?
Yeah, that event.
Okay. Actually, I think how do we process like maybe he will rent us the place and then for
He was
the
renting a
size-
place.
yeah.
So is it right to say this was a signing of a memorandum of agreement?
Yep.
How can
that's
we
right.
ask him? Is this the signing of a memorandum of agreement with Fividec?
对，就租。
That's right.
租地。
He's rented I think the hectares, the place of hectares.
Please. Mr. Chair, can we ask Mr. Yang to point kung sino po dyan yung translator niya? Can Mr. Yang point to us who in that picture is his translator?
In that particular event.
Don't have any translator inside.
No translator, Mr. Chair. So how would you converse with these people who you're having a deal with?
I think he have a translator, but the translator is not in the pictures.
Not in the
Yep.
picture. Okay. Mr. Chair, can we have the next photo, please? Mr. Chair, we have here a picture of a private meeting of Mr. Yang and the ex-PNP chief. Can you point to us, Mr. Yang, of sino po dito, who here is your translator?
OK，他就是问你在这里面哪一个是你的翻译
这里面也没有我的翻译。
？Yeah, it's not inside the pictures. Don't have any.
But you have a
translator
translator
Yeah,
in that
don't have-
meeting?
yeah.
No, but does he have a translator during the meeting?
He have a translator, but the translator is not in the pictures.
Not in the picture.
Yeah.
Okay. Next picture, please. I believe this is an event in CDO. Mr. Yang, do you recall this event?
就是这个的话，你是参加什么活动还是什么的？还是
是张英， 应该是那个，我也忘记了，应该是在甲该参加一个那个活动，我们那个会，我们商会里面我一起去。
Okay.
这
But I think it's already long time ago, and then he's not remember well, and then yeah, it's okay.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. To refresh yourself, this is, I don't know how you could forget this. This is a dinner with the president in CDO. Can you point, Mr. Yang, who is your translator in this photo?
Okay, 就是他想让你指一下哪一个是你的翻译。
Mr. Chair, this is not a post photo. There was no opportunity siguro for the translator to be told to step aside. You could be seen you're having dinner. This is very conversational. Surely your translator must be here, Mr. Yang.
I didn't see the translator
No
too.
translator. I have difficulty believing after how many years in the Philippines that you are unable to carry a conversation. As the pictures have provided, I believe that you, Mr. Yang, are able to speak Tagalog, Bisaya, or English, one of those languages in which you could talk with all of these people you're having meetings with.
OK， 就是他意思是说你在这里生存了差不多20几年嘛，然后就是说你肯定懂一些大家乐语或者是英文之类的，不然的话你要在这里怎么生存，怎么去跟他们沟通？
就是那个一般的，就是口头语这个听会听，有些说就是说不准。
Okay, I think he explained it. He can just listen some Tagalog, but just Kontilang, and then maybe if he want to speak, just Kontilang too. Yeah, but for hearing is okay for that. Yeah, maybe he will understand it.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We have no way to prove that na lang po, no? So we'll just take what he said for granted, but I just want it on the record that these photos show no translators on. Before I proceed with my questions of Mr. Yang, I'd just like to inform Ms. Ong that your boyfriend's birthday is February 7. You might want to remember your boyfriend of 4 years, yung birthday niya, Feb 7. Malapit po sa Valentine's. So, Mr. Chair, proceeding back again with Mr. Yang. So, inaamin nyo, you admit that you are a Chinese citizen hailing from the Fujian province.
哦，他问你是中国籍的，是福建，你的家乡在福建是吧？
是。
Yes.
And you, Mr. Yang, you are brothers with Yang Hongming, also known as Michael Yang.
就是你是杨洪明的哥哥和麦克样的哥哥是吧？兄弟。
是。
Yeah, right.
And you are also brothers with Yang Hongjiang, is that correct?
就是杨洪江也是你的兄弟是吗？
对。
Yes, right.
Mr. Chair, can Mr. Yang tell us where his brothers are now?
就是他问你，就是说问你的兄弟都在哪里？现在目前是在哪里？
我上就是听他们说，杨洪明说是在泰国，他有一天就是我跟杨洪明都没有联系，有一天他有打电话过来问我这边怎么问我。就是打电话过来吧。我问他在哪里，他说他在泰国。
在泰国是吧？
哦，在泰国，好像是在泰国。
Okay, maybe in Thailand, and then when some days the brother is calling him and then ask for, yeah, maybe for how is good or anything, and then he say it's in Thailand that times.
So, Mr. Chair, you're still in close contact with your brothers. This is both Michael Yang and Hong Jiang.
你还有跟他们保持很亲密的联系吗？
没有，我一直来菲律宾，我就跟杨洪明都跟杨洪明都没什么联系。
Okay, actually when he in Philippines here, after in Philippines, and then I think the relations is not good, and then it's less for contacts. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Well, in that case, Mr. Chair, one more question on Michael Yang. You must be aware of the allegations that Michael Yang is related to Pharmaly Pharmaceutical Company. In fact, he was the financer. Are you aware of that, Mr. Yang, through the Honorable Chairman?
就是他问你知道，就是你们现在sorry, come again the questions. Oh, it's connected. Okay. 就是他问你现在麦克样还有继续跟你们家人保持联系，还是怎么样的？
这个我就不知道了，因为我很少跟他我们一起我来菲律宾嘛，我跟他关系都不太好，都一直没什么联系。
Oh, I think it's less for context and then don't have any idea for that.
No idea about
Yeah.
Farmally,
Yeah,
the big scandal a few years back.
Yeah, maybe not good for relationship. That's why don't have any idea for that.
I'm sorry, Mr. Chair, can we ask Mr. Yang, the relationship soured after he left the Philippines? What year would that be?
就是他问你什么时候 in Philippines, what year them? Oh, okay, in which year? 就是他问你就是在什么时候开始对就是跟你的兄弟的关系没那么好，就什么时候开始的？
应该在2003、
03或04年。
后就开
I
始
think it's around in the 2003 or 2004 the times.
Mr. Chair, sorry, to clarify, my question was, when did his brother leave the Philippines? And
Oh,
when was
when-
that the relationship soured? Because if I understand the testimony earlier, ang sabi niya po, what he said was that his relationship soured when the brother left the Philippines.
Okay, no, okay.
Sorry, so maybe you can ask Mr. Yang, when did Michael Yang leave the Philippines?
Oh, when the Michael Yang is in， 就是他问你 Michael Yang 是什么时候过来菲律宾的？
他比我早过来，但是我也不知道他什么时候过来。比我早有4、5年还是。
Okay, I think it's before then the brothers is in Philippines, but it's not remember well when Michael Yang is arriving in Philippines here.
Sorry, the question wasn't arrived, but maybe it's very difficult na. Just
Yeah, I think it's okay. Oh.
还有翻译是吧？
Mr. Chair, if I may, I was informed that the official translator of the House has arrived, Miss Caroline. So she's a Filipino-Chinese. I guess the conversation, the interpretation will be much better.
So, she's the new interpreter.
I was informed by the Secretariat, Mr. Chair, that she is the officially designated translator of the Quadcom for this purpose.
Okay. I was hoping that she could help us translate what the translator is saying. Okay. Thank you for coming here.
Chairman, Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Congressman
I think
Fernandez.
Tony Yang understand what we are talking about. You laugh. Now we don't understand.
你能听得懂
Okay,
我们刚才
Mr. Chairman, before we proceed, may I ask Attorney Casio, I hope you, with the indulgence of our members, no? Attorney Dr. Casio, your group apprehended Tony Yang, am I right?
This was a joint operation with the
Yes,
Bureau of
I know.
Immigration, Your Honor.
But during the apprehension, you were talking with Tony Yang, am I correct?
Not necessarily. The Bureau of Immigration agents read him his rights, Your Honor.
So, nagkakausap sila? Narinig niya nag-uusap sila?
Yes, sir, I was there.
So, nakakapagsalita siya ng Tagalog? Naiintindihan niya Tagalog?
Tumatango po siya. Yes, yes.
So, we don't need to interpret anymore kung naiintindihan ni Tony yan. Ikaw, intindi aming salita? Oo. Naiintindihan mo kasi sumasagot ka eh. Di ba yung kanina when we were talking, I noticed lang Tony Yang. Tony Yang, makinig ka. Makinig ka. Kasi kanina lang, may joke si si chairman and you laugh.
刚才我们的主席
alam mo, Tony, ako, artista ako I know who's acting or not Ha? Tony, makinig ka sa akin. Naiintindihan kita. Naiintindihan mo ako, di ba? Konti. Okay. So, yung mga salita namin, naiintindihan mo, tumatawa ka, smile ka, sumisimangot ka. Di ba? Kita namin Di ba? And we will be reminding you. Remind namin ikaw. Pag ikaw hindi Sabi totoo dito, ikaw, contempt, kulong dito. Ha? Yan. Tinan mo.
Okay,
Naiintindihan niya
okay.
eh. Naiintindihan mo. Huwag mo na kaming pahirapan para mabubilis yung communication. Mr. Tony Yang, we're not here to pin you down. You just tell the truth. When we heard you talking in the Senate, I heard you. Naiintindihan mo eh. Sinasabi mo lahat eh. Sinasabi mo lahat. Open ka. So there's no more denying of trying to translate anything anymore. Huwag ka na mag-translator. Intindi mo lang, umuho ka lang, hindi. Ask your lawyer, okay? Intindi?
他说什么
哎？那好
这个我听不清楚。
OK，他们说你只要说出真相，然后其实你不用那个翻译来帮你翻译的，因为你能听得懂他们在说什么，所以你只要回答是还是不是，然后你可以问你的律师，这样就可以吗？
我真的很多听不懂。
There are a lot of things that I cannot understand.
Kasi Tony, 21 years ka, 2001 ka pa dito. 24 years ka nang nakatira dito. Imposibleng hindi mo naiintindihan ang mga sinasabi namin. Di ba? 24 years ka na. Gusto mo sabihin ko kung ano yung flight number nung eroplano na sinakyan mo dito together with your brother, Ho Jing Yang. Sabay kayo, di ba? Nakasakay sa eroplano, dumating dito sa Pilipinas. Tama, mali? Tama? Okay. Ang galing nito. Sige, go ahead.
Okay.
Rog, kindly wrap up, please.
Okay, sige, Mr. Chair. Well, siguro I'll just conclude na lang po with the question on the brothers. Now that we have a proper translator, I'm hoping. Mr. Chair, I'd like to repeat the question earlier. Mr. Chair, Mr. Yang, your brother Michael Yang, what year did he leave the... when did your relation sour with Michael Yang?
OK，请问一下，你跟您大哥的弟弟呢？你跟弟弟的关系什么时候就是开始没有那么好？
我们在我来菲律宾的，我哥来菲律宾的差不多3、4年，我们就很少，就关系都不太好。
Okay, so I have come here to the Philippines for around 30 years, and from that time, our relationship is not that good already.
30 years, but you have businesses with your brothers, Michael and Hong Chang. Is that correct, Mr. Yang, Mr. Chair?
但是您跟你的兄弟有开业，这是对吗？
开什么业？
开业，跟他们一起开业。
没有啊。
没有开公司吗？
没有，他们做他们的，我做。
No, I don't have any partnership or company together with them. I only do my own business and they do their own business.
Can you explain to us your relation with Michael and Hong Chang in relation to the Yangtze group of companies?
能不能跟我们解释一下你跟您弟弟还有红厂的关系？就是根据这个杨子的公司。杨子。
Yes, I believe there's Yangtze Group Trade Co., Yangtze River Economy United Development, Yangtze Pharmaceutical Group, Yangtze River International Group, HK Yangtze Group International, Yangtze River Pharmaceutical Group, Yangtze Rice Mill. I think you like the word Yangtze.
这个杨子的公司有很多集团，对吧？那
没有，不是。
不是吗？因为这些都是跟他们一起开业，对吧？
不是。
No, it's not. No, it's not. I'm not involved. I'm not involved.
Not involved. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Going back, Mr. Chair, to your birth certificate, you admitted that this was not authentic.
OK，关于你的出生证，你承认过，这个出生证不是真的，对吧？
对。
Yes, I admitted that it's not authentic.
Mr. Chair, can you care to explain what are the circumstances surrounding your birth? How did you acquire a PSA certificate po?
请问一下，您是如何得到这个出生证呢？
我哥来菲律宾应该，差不多2、3年，我爷爷弄来给我的。
So when I went to the Philippines,
外公。
Okay, when I went to the Philippines around after 2 to 3 years that I came to the Philippines, it was my grandfather, specifically my maternal grandfather, who helped me come up with this birth certificate.
And you acquired this birth certificate to, I would assume, facilitate your purchase of businesses and land in the Philippines?
所以你有了这个出生证，就是为了对你开业比较方便，对吧？
对，当时我爷爷给我说，就是给我做这个，我想他有给我说以后就是可以长期在菲律宾发展，可以做那个新型营业执照，可以买房子这样。
Okay, buy some. Okay, so during that time, it was my grandfather's plan or maybe decision, so that if I plan to open up a business here or to develop here in the Philippines for the long term, I would be able to use this. And also, for example, if I want to buy some lands or properties and also to gain some business permit, I would be able to use this birth certificate.
Mr. Chair, at the time that you acquired this PSA birth cert fraudulently, you were 34 years old, is that correct?
34. 当时你获得这个出生证，你是34岁，对吧？
我也忘记了，反正我到卡家园差不多应该是大概3、4点，我爷爷弄给我，反正那么久了，我也大概应该是我去那边2、3年还是3、4年。
Okay, so I have actually forgotten my exact age when I got that birth certificate. But what I know is that it was around 2 to 3 years that I came here to the Philippines that I was able to get that birth certificate.
Yes. Well, based on records, if it's to believe, you fraudulently acquired and registered your birth at the age of 34. So at that time, you were already of legal age, and your maternal grandfather, couldn't have coerced you. You acquired a fraudulent birth certificate of your own volition, Mr. Chair.
OK， 当时你已经34岁了，所以你有这个权利为自己做出决定。比如说，你知道这个出生证是假的，所以你可以就是为自己这个出生证而愿意还是不愿意做出这个出生证。
当时我过来这边刚开始，我也什么都不会说吧。但是我外公自己的亲人他弄这个，他帮我弄这个。我想他是想我在这边就是可以长期在菲律宾发展下去吧，应该是也是为我好吧
Yes, because I do not know how to speak English, so I am not aware of what will happen with the birth certificate. But what I know is that it must be my grandfather's decision to get me the birth certificate, and because he's thinking that I could develop long-term here in the Philippines.
Okay. Thank you. Mr. Chair, just a final questions before I yield to other interpollators. Are you aware of Filipinas 168 Shopping Mall, Inc. in
168 Shopping Mall. 请问你对这个168的商场很熟吗？168商场，你不知道？
我不熟，不知道。
I'm not very aware of it.
It would show in the records that Tony Yang, Antonio M. Lim, and Yang Hongjiang are incorporators.
在我们的这些记录里面说出 Antonio M. Lim 还有这个杨洪奖，他们都是业主，或是他们都是这些的领导总经理。
我也不大清楚会不会熟悉的，包他们也不是在事务吧。事务会不会他有一个商场，好像叫168还是什么，我不大记得。反正他们有弄商场。
So I'm not aware of this 168. Maybe it is a mall in Cebu. There's a number like 168. So I'm not really very clear about it.
Actually, it was incorporated in Davao. But anyway, I'll ask one more corporation. Is Mr. Yang aware of Yisan Fa Development Corp, in which Antonio Lim, Yang Hongming, and Yang Hongjiang are all incorporators?
再问你一个关于这个一三发这个集团，这里有说，他们的业主都是杨洪明先生，还有杨洪江先生。
杨洪明、杨洪江。
对。
那我不知道，我真的不知道，我真的不知道他们这些公司怎么样。
I really don't know this company. No, I don't know.
Thank you. Mr. Chair, I had a few more questions, but in the interest of time, I'll just mention it for the record and that maybe we can verify at a later time. In addition to these two companies mentioned, and of course the Yangtze Group, I believe we have the papers for that, but we'll just produce it in a later time. I'd also like to mention that his name appears for DCLA Plaza, KSM Shopping Co., and Yesan Fe Development Corp. So it's very difficult to be questioning this witness, Mr. Chair, given that it's either he is choosing outright to lie or he is feigning it behind this language barrier. But that's just a manifestation. With that, Mr. Chair, I will yield to other interpellators. Thank you very much, Mr. Yang. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Gutierrez. Can you relay to him what Congressman Gutierrez said?
OK， 他刚才说的就是，其实您名下的集团还有很多，例如有这个 TCLA， 还有 KSM， 还有这个138发。但是，如果你不说你不是这里的业主，那我们没办法，就是来证明。那不知道您是不是说出真相，还是只是在假装不知道这些公司？
我是真的不知道，真的不知道。
I really don't know them. I really don't know.
Okay, thank you.